Alright, today we're going to talk about collecting key and opening doors. And so this is going to be a long video, I think. There's a lot of things involved here, I think. So also it's going to be talking about parenting objects. And then also have the clouds moving at a small rate here. So let's get started here. Alright, so basically the first thing we got is a door that's open. So there's nothing special about this door. It's just going to be, it's just a gray flat object, and I have the origin set to x0, y0. That's important, of course. Got to make sure it all matches with the other objects so it doesn't jump. I have it set to visible and the depth's at 0. Remember what I talked about earlier is like the character I have, he's set to -20, so he's going to be in front of the door. The door's going to be pushed in the back. So when you move across the door, the character's going to be in front of the door because the door is set to 0 depth. So nothing special about the door going on here for right now. And then we got the door shut. So right now the door is shut. And I have it set to solid, and I have a depth of -50, so that's going to be actually in front of the character. And so when he hits the door, then he's not going to be able to open that door up unless he has a key. So it has to be solid. So when he collides with the door, it has to be solid. Otherwise, he may go through the object. So you got to make sure that's checked solid. And then I have basically this red square around the object, my character, and this is going to be parented with my character. And the reason why I have this red square around it is because basically when you collect the key, well actually when you move this character, this red square is going to follow you. Okay? And so in order to make that happen, you have to parent the object, and you have to have a code that goes along with that. So the parenting object is set like this. It's called a my red square is called a key box holder. Okay, so in there I have a step. It's right now it's visible, but you don't want this visible in the room. I have it visible just to show you what I'm talking about when I show you the video here or the game right now. But I went to add event and I grabbed a step. The step is used to when the character moves. That's why you need the step, because the block is moving with the character. Then the action panel, you go to the control tab, bring over 2 coded sheets with a else statement in between them. Alright, and basically it's going to state that if parentheses place underscore meeting parentheses x comma y comma person right stop, which is my character here, person right stop. That's the name of the character, person right stop. Alright, and then you have the brackets, and you have x equals person right stop dot x. Then you have the dot parenthesis there, and the y equals person right stop dot y dot parentheses there, and then have a close bracket brace. So basically you need an x and y coordinate stuck on the character, so that's why you have x and y. So x and y is stating that at 0 the box is going to be stuck with the character when he moves. So I can't really explain too much more than that, but I will give you the code for that and put it in the description below. But basically what this code does is it pretty much is glued to the character, and that's what you want. Wherever you move, that box is going to move along with the character, and that's what you want to happen. Alright, so oh, that's the gravity. I'm not already talked about that. Okay, and then the second coded sheet is the same thing, except now it's also going to so basically I'm pretty much pasting this key box holder on each of my character parts. So I have the same code pasted onto the person right stop, and then I have the same code pasted onto the move right stop. Move right. So each piece of the character, if you have 5 pieces of the character, because you're going to have a right stop, you're going to have a move right, and you're going to have a move left, you're going to have a person right stop, and you're going to have a move jump right, and you have a jump left. All those pieces of the character has to have the code in there, embedded in with him. Otherwise, if you move the character, then the object may not follow the character. So you have to have the code in there, otherwise it's not going to be pasted to the character. But just change the character name right here. Use the same code, but change the character's name in the X and Y axis area. So it has to be, all that code has to be in each individual character. Otherwise, if you move a certain way, if you don't put the code in the move right, but it's in the person right stop, it'll be there on the person right stop, but when you move the character right, the box is not going to move with the character, and then it's going to be all off, and it's not going to work correctly. So you got to make sure the code's in there for each piece of the character. Okay, so basically this is a key holder. This is a placeholder for the most part. That's why I call it a key box holder. So it's a placeholder, and basically it's a placeholder where it's not going to do nothing until it's active. Okay, so it's going to follow the character. This box holder is going to follow the character and do nothing until he collects the key. When he collects the key, this box holder will change to a different color, which will actually do something, which will actually open the door. So what's going to actually open the door is the green box. So the green box has the same code in it too, for the person right stop and for the person that moves right. So you're going to have the same code in there for both parts of the character, just like you did for the red box holder, but you're also going to have it in for the green box. And now, when the green box is active, once it hits that door, when you collide with the door, so you go to Add Event and say Collision, you're going to have, when this green box collides with the door object, this is what's going to happen. It's going to play a sound effect, which is the door is going to be opening up. I don't want it to loop. I want it to be false. So the door is going to open up. You hear that noise, and then what's going to happen? I got a switch object in here, which is going to be, I got that from the main 1 tab area. Okay, and then it states that the door is going to open up. The door opens, which is the door that I showed you the first time. This is the door that opened up. This is the black box I showed you earlier, the depth of 0. So basically you have it set to other because I have 2 of the same object doors that are shut. You want to have that set to other because if you do self or if you do object, if you go to object and set it to door shut, then what's going to happen is it's going to open both those doors, and you don't want that to happen. You only want it to open one door at a time, so you want to have this set to other. Okay, so make sure that when you do this game, I have two doors in this game, and I'll show you. So I have 2 doors, I have 2 keys. This is the same object, I just repeated it again. It's not 2 different objects, it's the same object, but you got to make sure that you set it to other when you collide with it. Because if you don't do it, then it's going to open both doors, and you don't want that. That's not the way to do it. So you got to have it set to other. So it's only going to open one door at a time. Alright, and I said yes on that. It's going to open the door, perform the event, and then I put an else statement in there from the control tab. Then another switch object rung over. Okay, switch object, Change instance, of course, that's what it's called. Change instance. Okay, and then basically it's going, I want to go to object. I'm going to have the key box, which is what it is called, the screen box is called a key box. I'm going to have it changed to the key box holder. So once I open the door, it's going to perform a task where it's going to switch back to the original key box holder that it was originally before I collected the key. Okay? And that's why this green box is going to turn green, because I collect a key. But once I collect the key and open the door, it's going to switch back to the key box holder, which is that red box, because you want to keep having the key box holder on the character at all times. You don't want to destroy the key box holder, otherwise when you grab a key again, the green box won't pop up around the character because you already destroyed the key box holder. So you need to have it switch back to the original state it was in originally. And you want to perform that event? Yes, you do. Then you grab another else statement from the control tab. Then you grab another change instance, okay, from the main one tab. Okay, and then basically you're going to tell, the yellow key that you collected at the top here, change it back to the yellow placeholder, or change it back to the key placeholder, and you say yes, you want to perform that task. And I have the depth set at 18, so it's behind the character, but it's kind of still there in front of the character. And what this yellow placeholder is this object right here. This is the key placeholder. It's going to switch back to this, which in reality is going to be invisible. Well, I'm going to show you in the game that it's there. Alright, so when character collides with the key, when you go to collision here and add event, it's going to perform the task by it's going to basically make a sound like you're collecting the key, and then it's going to destroy the key, but I have it destroyed to others, so it's going to destroy one key. It's not going to destroy both keys, only one key, because I only have one key object, but I have two keys in the game, but it's the same object, but I'm going to have it set to other, because I don't want to have, if I click on self or click on object and say key and change it to key gold, it's going to destroy both keys. And you don't want to have them destroy both keys. You only want to destroy one key at a time, so you have to set it to other. Then you go back over to the main one tab, put change instance in there, and then you can change the key placeholder to yellow key, which basically what's going to happen is this key holder thing that's purple is going to switch to a yellow key, which is this key right here. It's going to switch to this key, which is going to be visible, but this key is not going to be visible. Okay, so that's what's going to happen. And then another else statement, then put main one tab, another change instance, and then I'm going to have it and of course the key box holder, which is the red box I was telling you that's going to be moving on with him, it's going to switch to the key box, which is the green box I was talking about. So it's going to switch from the red placeholder to the green active placeholder. So this is deactivated, but you still need that on the character, and then you're going to have the key box, which is the green box, that's going to be active. So this is deactivated, this is activated. Alright, and then we have the key placeholder, which I have it visible right now and it's set to -50, but in reality you don't need this visible. I'm just going to show you in practice how it's going to look, and then I'll show you how it looks after the fact. So I went to add event, went to step, then I went to control tab and dragged over a coded sheet, and this is basically saying x equals view underscore x view bracket 0 bracket plus 1528, y equals view underscore y view bracket 0 bracket plus 64. This is the positioning which I talked about earlier in the other games I talked about, other videos, where it doesn't matter where this key placeholder is, which is this right here, it can be off the screen, but see I have set the coordinates, and the coordinates are at the bottom of the screen right here, the X and Y coordinates, and this is where I got my coordinates from, because I went to the view, and see the view area has the white outline around it. I just dragged my mouse right in the area where I want it at, and got the coordinates down here at the bottom, and that's where I got the coordinates at. So that tells me where I want the box to be at, or the key at. All right, and you also have to have a draw event or add event. Click on the draw event, bring over a coded sheet, and then you can put the same information in, but it's going to be draw underscore sprint, parentheses sprint underscore index, comma image underscore index, comma view underscore x view, bracket. The 1528, the same as what I talked about in the step, and the view underscore y view, bracket 0 bracket plus 64, parentheses and the dot comma. The same numbering, 1528 and 64, is also set in the step. The same numbers in that too. So you gotta have the step, you have the draw in there. That way, when you play the game, when you move the character and the camera view moves too, that it doesn't jump. So that's why you have to have the step as well as the draw in there, so it doesn't jump. And then the same thing will be applied to the yellow key. You have the same information in there. We have the 1528 by 64, and then you have the draw. And it's got the same numbering system, 1528 by 64. And like I said, in the edit area, the origin is going to be set to X0, Y0, and the same can be applied to the key placeholder. You have the same origin, X0, Y0. You got to make sure that those origin numbers are the same. It matches up with the other one, because when you grab the key, it's going to switch this placeholder to the correct key, which is the yellow one, and you don't want it to jump. And then also the square outline basically has the same coordinates in it too. It's got the step, it's got the draw, and it's got the same coordinates, 1528 by 64 for the draw and for the step. Same information is applied. I have the depth at -50 because you want it kind of like the buttons. The buttons are set to -52, so you want it above the character so it's not going to get away when you play the game. Because if you have the character at -50 and you have your buttons at -20, then you cannot play the game, because it's going to interfere with your play, because the buttons are going to be on the screen and your character is going to be right behind that button or in front of your button. You can't mess with the buttons then. Alright, so I'll show you how it looks with everything being on the screen. So the red is your placeholder here. See, your red's your placeholder, and see how that thing moves. If this key was yellow and you didn't have that draw bit on there, and you only had the step, when you move your character, that's how your key would move. It would move back and forth like that. So that's what you don't want to happen. So that's why you have to have a step and draw. So basically, this is a placeholder. This purple key is a placeholder, and it won't be there originally. And this red box is a placeholder, and that won't be there originally either, as well as the green box too. And right now, I got the clouds moving by one speed. I'll show you that in a minute. So he's moving across here. Alright, so he collects the key. See, now the key is gone, and now you have a yellow key in place of the purple key, and your red box has switched to green. So now he's going to be able to open this door, because now you have the key in your hand. See how it opens up? And see how the second key is right there? If I didn't have that set to other, the key would be gone after he collects that first key. So now it's active again. Everything's active. He opens the door. Bam. Now let me show you this again. So basically, in reality, this is how it's going to look when the person plays your game, you want to make sure that the red box placeholder is not visible. The green box is not visible too. That's the active one. This one's not the active one. This one's not active, this key placeholder. This one is the active one, but make sure it's not. Oh, that's right. You want this visible. You want that one visible. You want this key to be visible, but you don't want the key placeholder to be visible. Alright, and okay, it's all set now, and let me show you again how it looks. Alright, see, there's nothing there around the character, nothing in the box, but it's still there, of course, just not visible. Alright, see, now I can't open the door, I don't have the key yet, see? See, now it opened up, because I had the key. Bam, see, now I have the key now. Now I can open the door. Bam, there you go, see? That's how you do the game, how you open the doors using the key. And then one more thing to show you is the clouds. I just have it set to, just went to add event, clicked on create, went to the move sequence, and dragged it over. I want to drag, it's going to go in one direction, the left direction, and have the speed at 1, and press OK, and that's it. So that's how you do key collect here. Thanks for watching, and also, oh, I'm sorry, I forgot to tell you, on the key box holder, I did go to modify mask, and I did change it to where it's going to hit. So when the box hits the door, it's not going to hit it right here. It's going to hit it right here. So I went to manual, and I changed the right, because it used to be set to 600, or actually more than that, 650, I think, 650, something like that. So it's so I want the door to hit me later, not so far up there. So I want it to hit at my 550. So at 550, it's going to hit right here, because I have the box kind of too big. So basically, the box, once the door comes up to this point right here, it's going to then do something. But make sure that the deactivated box has the same number in it as it does for the green box here. It's got to match up. So you have it at 550. Make sure that's matched up to the same amount as the one that's not active. It's got to be the same amount. And then with the key collect here, when he collects the key, oh, and the key, I forgot one more thing to show you on this, the key thing. So when the character collects the key, I have this object here, which is a special effect. I went to the draw area, draw tab, and I dragged over a special effect. And here I just set it to self, and then I did a type which is called a ring. You can do all these special effects: fireworks, smoke, smoke up, star, sprinkle, clouds, rain, snow, eclipse, explosion. You can do all this stuff, and then I did a color effect. I did a yellow color effect, and then I changed the size here to either do small, medium, or large. I did large, and then you want to have it set to above the object, and then you want to have a relative check as well. And then did the same thing for the move right. So in all the pieces of the character, you have to have the same information in there. So that's like a special effect you can do. It's kind of like an emitter effect that GameMaker has set up inside. If you didn't like their special effects, you can make your own by make your own animation. But I can talk about that at a later time. So that's the special effect it does, and that's pretty much it. And also with the key collect, I went to edit, went to modify mask, and I have it set to precise. So at the precise amount, I could do box, but then, or eclipse like that, or a circle, or a diamond, but I did precise. When you get real close to it and you hit it, then you grab it. So let me show you again that special effect on here. So he's going through it again. I see how the clouds are moving at one speed. And I'll show the special effect in a minute. See the special effect? And then special effect. And then grab the key. Oh, and then I have one other thing here is I have an animation in here. I went to edit and I have an animation set here, and basically it's just a glow effect. So basically I went to animation here, animation tab, and went to fade color and just choose the color, and then it says how many frames you want. I put like 15 frames. And now it's gonna see how it animates. I see how it's different colors here. So that's the animation effect you can do in Game Maker. And that's it. Thanks for watching.